Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another video episode on ForgottenWeapons.com. Today we're out here with a military lever action. This is a Winchester model 1895, and this particular one is actually in 7.62 by 54 rimmed, the standard Russian military cartridge. Now this was obviously 1895 vintage. This was John Browning's first lever action designed specifically for the new high-pressure smokeless powder cartridges. And it was actually tested early on by the U.S. military in 30-40 Krag. MacArthur took a couple of hundred of these rifles without the stripper clip loaders down to the Philippines, tried them out. There was a lot of politics involved. Ultimately, they didn't accept them. They claimed that reloading was too difficult, that lever actions weren't strong enough. Claims which may have some validity, more likely don't have any validity. But ultimately, the U.S. went to the Krag, the Danish Krag rifle instead. Well, a couple of years later, 1915 rolls around. World War I is ongoing, and the Russian government is pretty well desperate for small arms of just about any type. So, 1915, they actually approached the Remington and the New England Westinghouse companies to buy hundreds of thousands of Mosin Nagant rifles. And at the same time, they also approached Winchester and ordered about 300,000 of these rifles, in 54 rimmed, their standard cartridge, and equipped with these charger loading bridges. And most, if not all, of those rifles were actually delivered to Russia before the Communist Revolution kind of cut off imports. And these saw quite a bit of service. The Russians used them. They then wound up in a couple other countries. Some of them were acquired by Finland. A lot of them were acquired by Turkey, which also made good use of them. And so we're going to take a look at this one and see how it shoots. They have a reputation for kicking pretty darn hard. They've got the typical lever action kind of small butt stock, nice metal butt plate on there, and 54 rimmed is a potent cartridge. Now, one of the potential military complaints about this design is that when you cycle the action like this, all the guts are completely exposed. So there's a lot of opportunity for this thing to get gunky and dirty and jam up. It certainly would not have been a good weapon on the Western Front in World War I. But it's still pretty cool. So with the loading guide, the idea, these take standard Mosin Nagant clips, and you slide the clip in there, and then you can cycle the rounds right down into the magazine. Clips are disposable. And beyond that, it runs just like any other of Browning's lever actions. A little sticky with some of this Russian ammo. Pretty cool. As long as it is a powerful cartridge. This is a relatively light rifle and a small butt plate, so it's definitely important to hold this nice and tight in your shoulder, kind of lean into it. As long as you're used to that and expecting some recoil, it's really not that bad to shoot. I think it's pretty cool. Put in a couple more rounds. So obviously this can be hand loaded, and this is the bit that MacArthur wasn't a big fan of. There we go. Because of this rimmed cartridge, the trick here is to push it in and then slide back so that you get the rim in. Hold that up to the camera so you guys can see it. Kind of like that. You have to make sure you get a nice full cycle on the lever, otherwise you do risk not quite fully cocking the hammer. So there you go, guys. These are really cool. They're fairly rare today. Not a lot of them got re-imported back from Russia. And when you find one, especially in real nice condition like this, they can be kind of pricey, but they're a really cool piece of military history. A lot of people don't realize just how many American-made rifles went into Russian hands around World War I. So, and then, of course, stuck around and saw use for decades after that in all sorts of interesting places. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Tune in again to ForgottenWeapons.com for more lever actions.